Alright, y'all, so I've got some exclusive Godzilla Minus One behind the scenes information for you guys. I haven't seen any channel cover this in English yet, even the normal Godzilla channels. I'm sure they probably will at some point, maybe even after watching this video. But I wanted to give the exclusive right here on World of Geekdom. First of all, this is going to contain some spoilers for the movie. If you have not seen the movie yet, go see the movie. It's now playing in new countries. The UK's got it now. Parts of Latin America have it. Check your local listings, okay? And if you don't have it yet, check to make sure your country has it. Look for it if you're on the docket. If you're in the United States, some movie theaters are showing it all the way through till the beginning of next year. So we've got a couple more weeks left. Do not hesitate, because every movie theater is different. Go see the movie. The movie will emotionally resonate with you even more if you do not know anything. Trust me, dude. This movie's an absolute phenomenon right now. Everybody is going nuts for this film. Everybody I talk to who has seen it is going nuts for it. They love it. Tears are being shed by men, women, everyone. Anyways, now, for those of you who have seen Godzilla Minus One, let's discuss some of the behind the scenes information and some of the early concepts behind Godzilla Minus One, because let me tell you, they had some really interesting ideas for Godzilla that are pretty damn gross. All right, and we're going to get to it. So, this art right here illustrates some of the early ideas behind Godzilla Minus One and some of the things that were left on the cutting room floor for the movie. Early, basically concept art for how he would have looked. One of them here in the upper right. See that design in the upper right? Because I do have translations for you guys for all of this. In the upper right, this design right here, according to what the translations say, he was leaning forward to appear more beast-like, which they went for his early smaller form at the beginning of the film. So at one point when Godzilla got big, they tried to go with a more beast-like form where he's leaning forward, but they kind of went with the traditional, on his hind legs, standing up, walking on two legs. The classic Godzilla look. The classic look that we see in every Godzilla film, except maybe the Matthew Broderick one. This does kind of remind me of Godzilla 98 a bit. It definitely does. Now, as we move on down to this image right here on the left, so the translation there, and this is really gross. So, early design ideas. This was like an idea that Yamazaki had that was left out of the movie, was that the damage to his face from the mine, when when they put the mine in his mouth and they blast it, and then he regenerates all quick, that horrifying scene. Originally, the damage was going to be more severe and would have caused the regeneration to malfunction, resulting in fangs growing in on his cheek, like poking out of his cheek, as you can see right there in the picture. So basically, his regeneration would have come in and not really been fully formed, and you would have seen teeth coming out of his cheekbone. That's gross. I mean, look, that is sick, especially since I remember a long time ago, guys, I saw a really nasty injury where somebody did have a tooth coming out of their cheek. It's sick. But this would have been horrifying, and it also would have taken away from the last scene of the movie where you see the remaining pieces of his body regenerating, teasing a possible sequel, or at least from Yamazaki said, the idea of it being, what he said specifically was, the reason why Koichi, Noriko, and Godzilla survive is because he likes the idea of having the characters be timeless. And a lot of Godzilla movies have done the thing where he's actually alive at the end as a, haunting sort of finish, and the creepy ending of Shin Godzilla. So it's been done before, right? Where a tease for a sequel, we never get a sequel. But this, I think the regeneration, had it not been perfect, would have also been would have taken away from the ending. So another thing, and this is going over to this artwork you see right here on the right. The translation here is that there was damage on the right side of his body from the atomic bomb or from the battleship that basically made it to where he would have had more scarring. So basically, Godzilla would have had a ton more scarring on his body from the atomic bomb, the Bikini Atoll atomic test or whatever, the one they did, the hydrogen bomb that turned him into Godzilla, that he would have actually been more scarred. So we were going to see a much more, and he already looks charred and burnt and scary in the movie. We would have seen a lot more of him being scarred. Now that's the one actually over here on the left. Now this one down here, this last one right here, basically states that this design, let me get it up to his face. This is the closest to the final design of the movie with his upright stance to make him appear, quote, more godly. That's the word that was used here, to appear more godly, with the big legs and the small, the small head like a triangle. So the idea was, you've got the head, the small head, and the two legs, kind of like, it is like in the shape of a triangle, like if you connect the dots, like from here and up to his, up to his head. From the tippy top of his head down to his feet is like a triangle, which of course has all kinds of occult, look into it, bro. I'm not gonna go into all that right now, but basically that was one of the early concepts. But this is sort of more like how he was supposed to look. This one right here shows more scarring on the right side of his body, as you can see. So I was actually pointing at the wrong image. The one on the left there on your screen has more of the scarring, and that's what it says down here. The text is translated. So not quite as gruesome as what they had planned for Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla was a disgusting mutant, and part of what made that film gross, what made that version of Godzilla scary, was how disgusting his body was, with the constant, regeneration and the evolution, the mutation. He's leaking blood everywhere. Shin Godzilla, totally different type of Godzilla. There was going to be some horrifying stuff with the regeneration in this movie, but I guess they chose to keep it out. But having Godzilla with teeth coming out of his cheek, as you can see right there, that to me would have been gross. Like that's gross to me. And again, it would have taken away from that finale. Maybe the original ending wasn't that. And hopefully someday we will find out what that original ending was. I could have sworn that I read somewhere that he wasn't going to end it with Noriko surviving originally. So maybe the early draft, remember, Yamazaki took years to finish the script. Maybe the early draft were different. I don't know. Anyways, man, yeah, that's my video. I hopefully you learn more about what they were planning to do with this movie, and we'll see what else we get from Japan. Take care now. Have a good one.